Good morning. Kalimera. I want to welcome our visitors this morning. I know many of you are visiting for the memorial service. Welcome. Nice to have you here at St. John's. And some of you have come home from far away for the Thanksgiving holiday. Welcome back for those who are from out of town. If you are new to our parish and would like to join, or new to our area, would like to join our parish, please fill out one of the white cards that are in the pews in front of you, and please give them to the greeters who I'll introduce at the end so that we can connect you to our parish. I was really thrilled to see so many people in church this morning. I thought maybe that we would not have as many people in church either because the holiday or because we all spent so much time here last weekend. Maybe we would take a Sunday off. So it was really nice to see so many people worshiping this morning. Excuse me. After my sermon, we're going to have a festival appreciation luncheon. So if you worked at the festival last week, please come and enjoy a free lunch. As an added bonus, I'm going to be serving on the serving line. It's just not something you see every day. So if you'd like to see your priest put some food on your plate, I served the Holy Communion today, and I will be serving rice or whatever they put me to serve over there in the hall when we're done. Our children, our Sunday school children, are also going to be doing boxes of hope. I know some people brought items for that, and this is to assemble boxes to give away to people this week who don't have food to eat so they can enjoy a proper Thanksgiving feast. This week, upcoming, there's going to be 3 divine liturgies in our church. The first is going to be tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. It's the feast of the entrance of the Virgin Mary in the temple when she was 2 years old. This is one of the major feast days of our church. So tomorrow, divine liturgy at 10 o'clock. Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock, we'll have divine liturgy. This is for Thanksgiving. The word Thanksgiving in Greek is Eucharistia, and the word for the Eucharist is also Eucharistia. So when we celebrate the Eucharist, we're celebrating the Thea Eucharistia, the divine Thanksgiving. So on Thursday, I know we all plan to celebrate a more secular Thanksgiving with turkey and the Dallas Cowboys, or however it is that you mark your Thanksgiving day. But I invite you to come Wednesday night and to put the Thea Eucharistia into your Thanksgiving celebration. Again, we'll have liturgy from 6 to 7 on Wednesday night. And finally, Friday at 10 o'clock, it's not Black Friday in the Orthodox Church, it's the Feast of St. Catherine. And so many of you are celebrating your name days, and we'll have divine liturgy Friday morning at 10 o'clock. Of course, the way Black Friday is now, you could go out like Thursday night and do your shopping and still get here for liturgy on Friday morning. They don't even wait until midnight. It used to be, come 6 o'clock in the morning, then it became midnight, then it became just skip Thanksgiving dinner and come from Thursday night. Anyway, I hope you have a nice Thanksgiving with your families. And shop online, it's a whole lot easier. In 2 weeks from now, we're having a retreat, our Advent retreat. And the topic of the retreat is encouragement, and that's something that we all need a little bit more of in our lives. So if you'd like to spend a day receiving some encouragement and hearing why you should be encouraged in your Christian life and why God still loves you and me even when we do really dumb things, come to the retreat on Saturday, December 3rd. But don't just come. Send me a note or send in the little slip from the messenger so that I know how many people are coming so that I can get the appropriate amount of food here. And lastly, how many people received the stewardship packet in the mail this week? Okay, good. That means they got out to the homes. And so our Stewardship Sunday is going to be on December the 4th. So I hope that you'll all fill out your packets. If you didn't get one, hopefully it'll be there tomorrow. If you don't get one by Tuesday, call the office. We're happy to mail you one. When you get my email tomorrow, I write an email every Monday on constant contact, and I hope that I don't fill your inbox needlessly with things from the church. We want you to be connected with the things that are going on here and know that there's lots of stuff going on in our church. And so every Monday I kind of send something with the highlights of the week. In tomorrow's message from me, there's a little bit of there's a link that's going to go to a survey that we're taking. We're starting to do a strategic plan in our church, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. But we're going to do a strategic plan, and we want everybody's help in that. And the thing we want most from you right now is just some input. So we can, as we try to craft this plan, we want to do it with everybody's input. So when you see the message tomorrow, it's have a little link there. There's a 4-question survey. It won't take anybody more than 5 minutes to do, but it'll help our committee to start formulating this plan for our future. Again, there'll probably be a couple surveys. This one is very, very short, just 4 questions. It's going to be open until December 6th. So if you could do it this week or next, so that we have some input from you. Going on the strategic plan topic, that's not my sermon this morning, but I'm going to use it as a lead into the sermon. I watched this video a couple weeks ago called a TED Talk. Anyone ever heard of this? TED Talks? All right, and so one of the talks has like this 3 circles: the why, the what, and the how. Anyone ever see this? If you have no idea what I'm talking about, email me and I'll send you the link. It's a 20-minute, this is a 20-minute presentation. It's really worth your listening to. And so one of the examples that he gives, he talks about answering the why in your life. Why are you doing anything that you're doing? Answering the why. All right? And this is important not only for church strategic planning purposes, but it's really an important question in your life for many facets of your life. Like, why did I get married? Why did I have children? Why am I a doctor? Why am I a teacher? Because we forget, we're so busy doing the what and the how. I'm so busy cleaning the house, putting food on the table, seeing my clients, whatever it is that I'm doing, preparing my lessons, that maybe I'm forgetting the why of why did I do this to begin with. All right, I think about that now, and I think about how often I don't think about that as a priest. You know, I didn't become a priest so that I could serve rice at the appreciation luncheon. That's just an added bonus. But I became a priest for reasons other than that. All right, and there are lots of things I do as a priest, and when I get bogged down with things, I'm like, wait a minute, this is not meeting my why. I have to go back to my why. All right, and so they also gave an example. He gave an example in his talk about selling Apple computers, and he says he highlighted a commercial, a sample commercial. Buy this computer. It has a lot of memory. It will make you more efficient, and it will give you more control of your life. And he says, now, if you take that information and you reverse it, you want to have more control of your life? You want to be more efficient? Buy this computer. It's got a lot of memory. All right? When people start talking about buy this computer, it has a lot of memory, we like automatically turn out because I already own a computer, so I'm not even interested in what follows. But if you say, do you want to have more control of your life? You want to be more efficient? I'm listening because that might affect my why. So now I'm going to listen to what comes after. So when we talk about belonging to the church, we shouldn't think about the church in come to church. You know, we have a nice choir, and we have Goya, and we have Bible study, and we have a Philoptimos. We should think, come to the church because it'll change your life. God loves you. God loves me. There's a plan for all of us. And we've got a nice choir, and we've got a Goya, and we've got Bible study. All right? It is a lot more attractive to you and to me when we talk about what our church can do to change us. And we get back to the fundamental why. Now, we meet a gentleman in the gospel this morning. His why was all wrong. He was a very successful man, and he was so successful that he had a problem. He had nowhere to store all of his stuff. So he said, all right, let's focus on what I need to do. How can I amass more wealth? I don't have anywhere to put it, so I will tear down everything I have and I'll just build something bigger, and then I'll have room to store all my stuff. And God said to him, you're a fool. You're going to die tonight. Tonight, this very night, your soul is required of you, and all those things that you have, whose will they be? All right, he totally missed out on the why question. God did not put him here. God did not put me here. God did not put you here to amass large amounts of wealth, so much that you had to destroy your house and get a bigger house. God put us here to spread his word, to glorify him, and to help one another. God put us here to love him and to love one another. That's the reason that we're here. If we have so much wealth and we have no idea what to do with it, we should give it away to somebody to show them that we love them and that we're here to help them. Right? He missed out on the fundamental why. Now, you know, it's interesting that, you know, I spend my whole week here, and I talk to dozens of people every week, and I learn different things about other people, and I learn different things about myself in the process. And so one thing I was talking about with someone this week was the topic of compassion. And the person said, Father, I wish I had more compassion. In fact, I don't think I have really that much compassion at all. Sometimes I wonder if I have even an ounce of compassion. And I'm like, that's part of the fundamental why. If you think about yourself and you're like, I don't have any compassion. I could be nicer to people. You probably should be doing that. Because if this very night your soul is required of you, God's going to say, look at all those opportunities you had to be nice. Why didn't you do that? Look at those opportunities you had to be compassionate. Why didn't you do that? This week, thank God, it's Thanksgiving week. And we all know what the first sin was, right? Everyone knows what the first sin was? It was failure to be thankful. It was failure to be thankful. God gave Adam and Eve the whole world, the whole Garden of Eden, the whole paradise, and said, it's all yours. Every tree, every animal, it's all yours. Only stay away from this one tree. And instead of saying, thank you, God, for everything that you gave us, Adam and Eve says, you know what? We want the tree also. All right? They didn't have any sense of love or obedience or compassion, whatever, for the things that God told them to do. So as we celebrate Thanksgiving this week, we need to get back to the fundamental why God put us here. He put us here to glorify Him and to help one another. Now, I don't like offering sermons on stewardship. That's why I left it to the very end. All right? We got the stewardship packet this week. And the stewardship, your stewardship, reflects your why. Your stewardship reflects your why. Why do I belong here? I'm just going to give an amount that doesn't even affect me at all. I belong because I just check a box. Many people in the world, they approach their stewardship that way. All right? That's not why we belong. We belong because this place, this church, it directs us. It teaches us how to love God, and it teaches us how to love each other, so that when we leave from the church, we have a greater ability to do that in the world. We have greater incentive and inspiration and encouragement to love God, and greater encouragement to love one another. That's what our church does. So stewardship reflects your why. Stewardship, that's what it affects on an individual level. So ask yourselves about your why before you fill out the card this year. The other thing that stewardship does is it reflects our collective view of the church. What kind of church do we want to have? And I've been talking about the difference between doing church and being church. So it costs a minimum amount of money just to do the church. And we got to spend X amount of money on insurance. We got to spend X amount of money on the mortgage. That's before we have any services. We got to spend X amount of money on the utilities, the lights, the water. And after we get to a certain threshold of stewardship that we need just to do the church, then we can be the church. I mean, we have to raise whatever our budget is, $690,000 to pay the bills, to pay the salaries. But let's say that we somehow raise $2 million. All right? Just an unbelievable amount of money. What would we do with that money? Yeah, we would spend some of it reducing our debt. But we would take the extra money and we would just give it away. We would be the church. We would go out and we would give away what we have. I read something, and I printed it in the Messenger, and this is mathematically proven, that if every parishioner in every church in the world gave 10%, and if every church gave 10% of its funds away, then that would be the end of poverty. If everybody gave 10%, and if every church gave 10%, that would stamp out poverty. There wouldn't be any poor people. I mean, there are poor people out there because we're not being the church. All right, so our stewardship reflects the kind of church that we are, and it reflects your why. So please give that some thought as we celebrate Thanksgiving this week. Let's get back to our original why God put us here, to glorify Him and to help one another. And I just want to say thank you for being parishioners. Thank you for being friends. Thank you for a wonderful festival last weekend. I didn't have any business in my office. No trauma tent this year. That's really nice. I used to spend the festival in my office talking to people who were traumatized by other people in the community because they didn't know how to scoop the rice right. That's why I scooped the rice at this. So don't traumatize me either. You did good last week. All right? I spent the time in here praying with people. I spent the time talking with many of you, praying with many of you, sampling the food to make sure it was okay for everyone to eat. But seriously, thank you for a wonderful festival. We'll hear some very positive numbers. Our festival last week was better than last year's. Our festival committee will give you information about that. And one last thing, and I'm not saying this in a self-serving way. For those who don't know, I wrote a book recently, and it's for sale in the bookstore. And I'm not saying this in a self-serving way, like go buy my book. I'm not going to make any money on it. The church can make the money on it. But the book is on Advent, so we have a few of them laying around. If you want to read something more about our faith this Advent, I encourage you to buy that. And if you'd like to read something every day, I have been, for almost 2 years, writing a message every morning at 12:30 called the prayer team. If you're not part of it and you'd like to get a message from your priest that has nothing to do with stewardship or business, it's all about inspiration and encouragement. If you'd like that, just send me an email. I'll add you to the list at any point in time. God bless you and have a wonderful week and a beautiful Thanksgiving. Our greeters this morning are Catherine Sakis and Lisa Alcina, and our ambassador is Helen Cawthorn. They're right up here in the front. If you are new to our area, just fill out one of those cards and give it to one of these ladies, and they'll get you hooked in with our community. Have a great week.